Well, hey, seventh graders. Some nights you have too much homework, so I better get started here. This is just one lesson, and we're going to be working with commas with introductory words. And in order to work the lesson, you're going to need a highlighter and a pen. So go ahead and get out those two writing instruments, and we'll get started. Okay, the lesson Commas with Introductory Words is found on page 267 in the English Workshop book. Go ahead and turn to that page and notice that we're going to work with all the rules on this page, 20J all the way through 20P. And I'm going to have you do some highlighting. I'm going to explain the rules to you. Okay, rule number 20J, please highlight it. Use a comma after words such as well, yes, no, and why when they begin a sentence. Examples: no, comma, we won't be late. Well, comma, it's finally finished. Okay, now highlight rule 20K. Use a comma after an introductory participial phrase. Now let me explain. A participial phrase is going to be a phrase that has a participle in it, and a participle is made from a verb by adding an ing word or ing to it. So look at the example. Jumping up, comma, Carlotta grabbed the ball. Jumping used to be the verb jump. Now it's actually a modifier. It's turned into an adjective. Jumping up is describing Carlotta. You always put a comma after a participial phrase. Okay, highlight rule 20L. Use a comma after a series of introductory prepositional phrases. A short introductory prepositional phrase does not require a comma unless the comma is necessary to make the meaning clear. Examples: in the front, that's one prepositional phrase. Of the store, that's the second. Comma. Notice the comma doesn't go between the two prepositional phrases. It goes at the end of the two. If you had three prepositional phrases there, you'd put the comma at the end of the three of them, or four, or however many you have. But when you have introductory prepositional phrases, the comma goes after all of them are stated. In the front of the store, comma, two clerks were ringing up purchases. Next example: after dinner we talked for hours. No comma was needed there. But look at the next one. After dinner, comma, time seemed to stand still. And then the notes read, the comma is needed to avoid reading after dinner time. Okay, so it's just for clarification. You needed the comma there. Please highlight rule 20M. Use a comma after an introductory adverb clause. When you're finished, comma, please help me here. You know it's an adverb clause because it's saying when something is going on, and that's what adverbs answer. They also answer where and to what extent. Please also highlight the rule 20N. Use commas to separate items in dates and addresses. And you can see where the comma goes after the number or the date 5 on September 5, comma, 1968, comma, a star was born. I will be at 54 Howard Lane, comma, Barstow, comma, Florida, and then the zip code. Highlight rule 20-0. Use a comma after the salutation of a friendly letter and after the closing of any letter. Dear Miss Hoy, comma, or sincerely yours, comma. Now if you're writing to the president, it would be Dear Mr. President, colon. So if it's a formal letter, you use a colon there. But if it's a friendly letter, you use a comma. Okay, the last rule, please highlight it, 20P. Use a comma after a name followed by an abbreviation such as junior, senior, and MD or PhD. Examples: Martin Luther King, comma, Jr., or Ben Casey, comma, MD. All right, those are all the rules, and now that we have those in our head, we're going to practice a bit. All right, we're going to begin working on exercise 7, and at the bottom of the page, adding commas with introductory elements. Let's read the directions. In each of the following sentences, add commas where needed. On the line before the sentence, write C if the sentence is correct. So this is pretty simplistic. As examples, let's do the example and number 1, and then we'll move on to the next page. So the example reads, washing my clothes in the river, comma, I saw an alligator. That comma is placed correctly because it comes after the participial phrase. So you would write a C in that blank next to the sentence. Let's do number 1 together. In the back of the closet, Jared noticed a small door. Now, the reason why I placed a comma after closet is because it comes after the two prepositional phrases. Here's the first one, in the back. Here's the second one, of the closet. Then you place the comma. Now I'd like for you to do numbers 2 through 15 on the next page, page 268. And after you finish, I want you to check your answers, and I'll go over each of those in the next part of the video. So go ahead and pause the video now and do all the sentences 2 through 15, then check your answers. Okay, let's check your answers. Number 2, yes, comma. The comma goes there because that's an introductory word. Number 3, singing at the top of her lungs, comma. The comma goes there because singing at the top of her lungs is a participial phrase modifying Heather. Number 4 is correct. Number 5, as you read the chapter, comma, and that's at the end of that prepositional phrase. Number 6, next to the kayak, comma, and that comma's there at the end of the prepositional phrase as well. Number 7 is correct. I forgot to mark C there, so go ahead and mark a C on number 7. And actually this one could be correct, or at noon, comma, if you opted to put it there. Number 8, climbing over the fence, comma. This is a participial phrase modifying Guido. Number 9, before you look up. These are two participial phrases, before, well, actually it's one, before you look up, comma, and so you need a comma at the end of the prepositional phrases. Number 10, why, comma, one of my friends made it for me. And so this is just an introductory word. Number 11, say, comma, another introductory word. Number 12, correct. Number 13, however, comma, that's an introductory word. Number 14, at the sound of the bell, comma, and that's two prepositional phrases with a comma at the end of both of them. And then number 15 is correct. So good job. Make sure you've marked all the commas and the letter C's in the correct sentences. Okay, well, that's it for today, and I want you to be sure and pack your English Workshop book in your backpack and to bring it to class tomorrow, because I will be checking it, and I know Ms. Naylor will as well. And we want to make sure you listen to this video and learn these rules and did this lesson. We're going to be using these rules this next week in the daily language sentences, and you will have another quiz coming up soon. So I hope you learned something tonight. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.